the MMA Fight Picks podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
All right, hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum. I'm super late tonight, and for that, I apologize. I'm just going to do a little recap in here. There's no UFC this weekend, but I'm going to pick some fights for Bellator and PFL. I believe that is Bellator 264 and PFL 7 for 2021. And, if you just happen to be here, feel free to help me make some picks. I see I'm blurry. I'm going to reset the graphics server real quick. And for those of you about that, so I'm waiting for my audio and video to load back up. Looks like I'm good to go. Very, very good. And I'm going to try a new filter out here on my virtual cam, my eCam virtual cam, and see if that works. Of course, now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Okay. So we're just going to give that a little try. So like I said, wherever it is you find me, feel free to help me pick fights, make comments, crack-wise, or whatever. And I don't know that my Twitter is working, so that may be a problem, but in the end, I don't think it'll matter too much. It's kind of a slow little business week this week. Whoops. And yeah, we're going. Okay. All right. Enough about that. Let's go over some fight recaps. UFC 265, man. Interesting night of fights. Miles Johns looking good in round 3 of that fight against Anderson Dos Santos. Jessica Penne, I mean, wow, that armbar in round 1 against Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So Jessica Penne, all of a sudden, she's kind of right there at strawweight rather. Alonzo Menafield, a unanimous decision out against Ed Herman. Man, Ed Herman, he's kind of timeless, really. So good for him on that. Fiziev, Bobby Green, what a fight. The fight probably should have went to Bobby Green, but it was still a banger. It was fun to watch. Song Yadong winning that split decision against Casey Kenny. I'm going to say it. Of course, Dom put the beat down on Casey Kenny about it. A Song Yadong Dominic Cruz fight, I'm not hating it. Tisha Torres, unanimous decision against Angela Hill. Vicente Luque, this was a heartbreaker. We just had Chiesa on Call Me Al podcast right before that. But, that first round, Darce choke, submission. Jose Aldo turning back the clock, looking good, beating Pedro Munoz, and, of course, Cyril Gane. It did make it all the way to round 3, but, man, he just looked like he was 8 steps ahead of Derrick Lewis. Now he's the interim champ. What's next from probably Francis Ngannou? I don't know that John Jones is ever going to fight anyone. I think he turned down a fight against Stipe Miocic. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, let's get into it here. This will be a fairly quick broadcast tonight. PFL, let's go with PFL number 7 first. Of course, the big surprise is Gleason Tybau beats. He gets a decision against Rory McDonald. So it's kind of an interesting spot for him. And so you're going to have – let's just go to lightweights here. Daryl Horcher and Olivier Aubin-Mercier, the Canadian gangster. This fight, of course, taking place at lightweight. The Canadian gangster just beat Marcin Held. Before that, man, 3 losses in a row, all in the UFC. And he comes back and gets a nice little win here. Daryl Horcher, you may remember him from such fame as a short notice fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov. Way back when, this was 2016, gets starched in round 2, ground and pound. Comes back, beats Devin Powell. Excuse me. Loses to Scotty Hot Sauce Holtzman, Roosevelt Roberts. and gets a nice win in CFFC before joining the PFL. Now, I'd be interested to see if there are odds on this, and there are. Big favorite, the Canadian Gangster, man. Minus 320 plus money on Daryl Horcher plus 250. I like the odds in this. Olivier Aubin Mercier. Excuse me. Next up, at welterweight, Curtis Millender taking on Gleison Tibau. I mean, I just can't get over that decision where he beat Rory McDonald. It's just baffling to me, but let's pick it anyway, all right? Millender, not doing so hot. Lost 3 in a row. Just lost to Magomedov. I'm sorry, Magomedirgamov. Oh my gosh, I'm saying Magomed. Before that, he loses to, he gets submitted twice in a row here. Rear naked choke, the Ezekiel to Magomed. Lost to Sabah Homasi, a decision. He hasn't won since Moses Marietta back in Bellator. So interesting there. And, of course, he had a little bit of a UFC stint as well. But it's not really anything worth talking about. And then you got Gleison Tibau, who was a former lightweight, beats Rory in a split decision. I don't get it. Before that, he lost, the same season against Joao Zeferino. And then he somehow pulled a win against Will Brooks in there somewhere. It's going to be interesting to see what the odds are. I would say Gleison Tibau would be the favorite. And, so plus money is on Curtis Millender, plus 125, and Tibau's favorite. I tend to think that is the case. Clay Collard, who I never heard of until he beat Anthony Pettis, taking on Raush Manfio. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Collard, he's there. I think he's probably number 2 here. Just beat Jolton Luderbach. Before that, he beats Anthony Pettis. And then take a look at Manfio, also in the winner's circle, beat Anthony Pettis as well, split decision, and also beat Luderbach. So interesting. I imagine the odds might be fairly tight on this. Yeah, so slight favorite Clay Collard, minus 145, almost even money on Manfio. I like Collard in this fight. Okay, Magomed Kiryamov. Okay, Magomed, I'm just going to say from here on out. Hasn't lost since 2015. Okay, he just beat Curtis Millender by Ezekiel choke, like I said earlier. That's the only fight he's had this year. Interesting. And then he's taken on Sadibou Sai, who just beat Alexei Kunchenko. And before that, he had a no contest Dr. Stoppage eye poke in 2021 in April. And then, of course, he has a draw with Roy Cooper III. Okay. I think I know where the odds are going on this. And Magomed should be a heavy favorite. Oh, my God. Minus 600, plus 435 underdog. This is the thing with PFL. The UFC, the odds are at least, they're fairly close. But this isn't even close. And I don't see any reason to throw your money away on Sai thinking you're going to come back at plus money, plus 435. So Magomed for the win. Rory McDonald taking on Ray Cooper III. Well, Rory had a bit of a robbery, I think, against Gleison Tibau. Before that, he beats Curtis Millender on his exit out of Bellator. He got beat by Douglas Lima. So let's take a look at Ray Cooper III. Ray hasn't lost in a while, man. Gosh, he hasn't lost since John Howard PFL 2019. So he's on a nice little tear here. Chris Curtis, David Michaud, Jason Penne, Nikolai Alexakin. Okay, So let's take a look here. Minus 170. He's just a slight favorite over Ray Cooper the third, plus 150 underdog. Interesting. I like the favorite here, Rory McDonald. I think he's just got way more experience, way more stiffer competition. Much more stiffer competition, and yeah. So there we go. All right, next up, we're gonna pick the Bellator card. Bellator 265 or 264 rather. Mousasi versus Salter. I have my kid calling me, so I need to see what that's about. All right, so I gotta send him a message here. All right. Oh, hang on. This must be important. So I got to see what's going on here. Sorry, everyone. Hey, sorry. What's up, buddy? Nope. Go ahead. That's fine. That's fine. I'll probably be in bed when you guys get home. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. It was important enough to call back twice to eat at the Waffle House, which I get it. I was 17 once, 16 once, whatever. Okay. Whoa, what did I do here? All right, so first up, Magomedov taking on Rafion Stotts, who, if you've ever heard him speak, he's a pretty funny fella. Magomed, of course, this fight is taking place at. Why am I losing it here? See, the phone calls just messed me up. Bantamweight, my bad. Just beat CJ Hamilton, Matthias Matos, Walter Pereira. Okay, so let's take a look here at Rafion Stotts. Just beat Josh Hill, Keith Lee, the brother of Kevin Lee, Cass Bell, and Shaden Lea Ohua. All right, so let's see what the odds have to say here. I would assume, oh my gosh. Magomedov is a minus 415 heavy favorite. Stotts underdog. As much as I like Stotts, I think Magomedov probably has it. Andre Koreshkov. This, of course, taking place at welterweight. Taking on Sabah Homasi. I mean, you may remember he fought Ben Askren. Koreshkov did, and Ben Askren absolutely just ragdolled this guy. He's looked pretty good since. Honestly, he looked huge against Benson Henderson, who was moving up a weight class. Yeah, so after that loss to Askren in 2013, nice little win streak before losing to Douglas Lima in 2016. Lost to Douglas Lima again in 2018. Lorenz Lockton in 2019. So finally coming back to beat Adriano Rodriguez in February 2021. Now let's take a look at Homasi. Just lost to Paul Daly. Before that, he's had some wins against Bobby Volker, Curtis Millender, Mika Tyrrell, and Muhammad Abdullah. All right, so let's just take a look at the odds here. Big favorite here, minus 350 for Andre Koreshkov, plus 265 underdog for Homasi. Probably Koreshkov will keep his journeyman welterweight status in Bellator. All right. Great. Gegard Mousasi, who has resting constipation face, taking on John Salter at middleweight for the middleweight strap. Mousasi hasn't lost since Rafael Lovato Jr. And of course, Lovato hasn't been back since, and that was back in 2019. Comes back, beats Lyoto Machida, split decision, and then comes back and beats Douglas Lima, who tried to come up a weight class and be a champ, but that doesn't usually go well for guys coming up against Gegard Mousasi, who used to fight at 205 pounds and did very well. Super John Salter here. That's not really his nickname. It's just what is his nickname? He doesn't have one. Well, let's give him one. Damn, Super John Salter. I like it. Just beat Andrew Capel, Costello Van Steenis, Chidi Nokjuwani. Hasn't lost also since Rafael Lovato Jr., but that was back in 2018. So say the odds will probably favor Mousasi quite a bit. Yeah, minus 350 favorite, plus 260 underdog. There we go. I like Mousasi in this one. I don't think I picked an underdog in the single broadcast, so sorry about that. And we're going to call it here. And so you can catch me on Call Me Out every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, 3 Pacific time. And until next time, we'll be picking another UFC card. So I'm going to have to say shalom. So bye.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.